Alright, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, this is the second time I'm filming this. My first video, there was audio interference, but the amount of excitement does not change. We're unboxing the PR package for Tati Beauty. I can't. Texture Neutrals Volume 1. This packaging is stunning. I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see it a little bit better. Excuse my nails, but we have Tati Beauty embossed right here. This really beautiful matte textured cover. It feels very much like a book, and in her video she explained it's meant to be kept on display almost like a coffee book table, the old Chanel, Dior, Vogue model, books that you'd place on display. Very reminiscent of that. I'm gonna find a wonderful spot to place this in my beauty room. I'm so excited. So, Tati and I became friends years ago now. When she had just hit around the 150,000 subscriber mark, I had reached out to her to let her know that someone was stealing her videos, uploading them as her own. Together we got the channel taken down, and then ever since we have been in contact, and then we met at the Birchbox store for her LOC launch and have been friends ever since. She reached out and said she wanted to send me a package, and it arrived. So here's the inside. It says Make Believe with the invisible ink, so make up, and then a little handwritten note that's personalized for all of the people who receive PR packages. And then the palette itself. So there is a little pull tab right here to get the palette out. You guys, oh my god, it's so good. So good. So I'm just gonna dive right into it. Try to make this video a little bit faster than the first one I filmed. It ended up being like 40 minutes long. So pretty, and then it has Exo's Tati right here in the invisible ink as well. I love just the personalized touches, and it really is, it's Tati. This is very reminiscent of her. If you guys have been following her for a long time, you can really see her in this, and it shows. Let's dive right into the palette. Alright, I'm gonna scooch you a little bit closer. Here's the palette. Tati Beauty, Volume 1. It has this really nice mattified texture, very sleek, but has a good weight to it. The mirror is absolutely enormous, stunning, has a really good level of clarity. There's no distortion at all. I really appreciate that. Some palette mirrors, they suck, like, to be quite honest. This one is really shiny and very reflective. And then here are the shadows. Let's zoom you in. So obviously I have played with these a little bit. I've done some swatch videos on my Instagram story already. But guys, it's so good. Look at these. So I'm gonna do it color by color. And the way this palette works is there are 6 distinct colors. So we have Poet, Aura, Soothe, oh my gosh, what is this one called again? Story, Ritual, and Memory. And then moving vertically upwards, you have that same shade in different finishes. So this is still the shade Memory, but in a sequin finish, metallic, and then glitter, and then so on. When I first saw this palette, I was a little bit confused about the layout. I didn't, there wasn't a video out yet when I first saw the picture in Trend Mode, and I didn't understand that these were going to be just the same color in different finishes. And I really actually quite like that idea, because there are a lot of my matte shades that I wish were a shimmer or vice versa. Really smart layout. I will get a little bit more into the formulas in my opinion on them after we do the swatches, so let's get into those right now. So here we have the shade Poet. It's a really beautiful kind of cranberry tone. Then moving up from that, we have Poet in the sequin finish, which has blue, purple, and pink reflex. Poet in metallic. So pretty, oh my gosh. I still can't get over these. And then the best is Poet in the glitter finish. Ooh. You guys, this glitter, it's so smooth. And it really does transfer to where you're applying it. Like, there's not too much left on my hand compared to a lot of other formulas that I'm sure you've used in the past. So that is Poet. And then moving over, we're going to do the row Aura, or the column Aura. Aura in the matte finish has a lot of pigmentation. You can see that's a full coverage powder, so this is a great base. And then moving up from that, we have Aura in the sequin finish. This is hard to see on my skin tone, but it has a really nice, pretty pink, kind of beigey reflex tone to it, so it's absolutely stunning. And then we have Aura in metallic. And then Aura in the glitter finish. This is one of my favorites. It has purple, green, blue, gold glitter in it. And the gel base is really nice. I mean, that one, almost all the color completely comes off. Next color that we're going to do is Soothe. This is a really pretty transition shade. It's just a warm tone brown. Very buttery, creamy, awesome pigmentation. And then the sequin shade for this I actually quite like. You can see it has really tiny little gold champagne glitters inside, and they just catch the light in a really pretty way. Moving up from Soothe in the sequin formula, we have Soothe in metallic. Very buttery, very smooth pigmentation, no patchiness at all, so that is a great metallic formula for that color. And then this is Soothe in metallic. And this is probably my favorite glitter. It's just this gorgeous champagne, slightly beige taupey tone glitter, but still warm. Amazing. And I actually like that this isn't an exact tone of this in glitter. I don't know that I would like this color necessarily in glitter. I love this though, so really, really beautiful color combo on that one. Now moving on to Story, which is the gorgeous orange tone. So Story in matte, really warm, rich pigmentation. It's going to be great for warming up any crease look or smoking out a lower lash line. And then we have Story in sequin. This is so pretty with that gold. Tati was describing the sequin formula as being fiery, and I totally get what she means. This is like little embers burning away, just so pretty the way that catches the light. And then we have Story in metallic, and this she said is going to be the chunkiest metallic. It has definitely more texture to it, but still really high shine, very pretty, almost rose goldy, but a little bit more on the copper side. And then this is Story in the glitter formula. This is probably the patchiest of all of the glitters, is this one here. But with another little layer, it evens out beautifully and really reflects light in a very brilliant kind of way. So this is the shade Ritual. This color actually applies much better with a brush than it does with your finger. So there is Ritual in the matte formula in sequin, metallic. So pretty. That metallic's so buttery. And then this is Ritual in glitter. That's probably the smoothest of all the glitters, is Ritual. Absolutely stunning. One of my favorite colors in the palette. But again, this shade, don't be misled by the finger swatch. It works much better with a brush. It doesn't swatch well with a finger. And then moving back up to my hand, I know it's a little bit stained, but we are going to go in with the black, so this will show up and cover anything I have on. So this is the shade Memory. Very, very rich black, very, very deep in color. Very impressed with that. And then this is Memory in the sequin formula. The matte base on this is slightly patchier. Has a really pretty blue, silver, purple iridescent reflex to it. And then the metallic shade for Memory is gorgeous. It's this beautiful gunmetal, blue undertone to it, absolutely stunning. And then lastly is the glitter formula in the shade Memory. Equally stunning. You do need to go over this one with about 2 passes though. Everything in this palette was really well thought out. You can tell that Tati spent a lot of time on it. If you guys have been watching her for a while, you know she's a stickler for quality and would never settle for anything less than what she considered to be perfect. And I just really love it. Aside from the fact that it means a lot to me sentimentally because she is a friend, I think it's really well thought out. The matte formula is extremely impressive. I truly have not tried anything like it before, and I do own a lot of products from the same laboratory that makes her palette, and I can truly and honestly say that this formula is specific to Tati Beauty. I haven't seen it in any of the other brands that the factory manufactures. But yeah, the sequin formula I was surprisingly happy with. I don't know if I've ever really talked about this, but I don't like mattes with shimmer. I don't really like them, but this formula is gorgeous, and especially Story with that gold and that copper. That's absolutely beautiful. So very, very happy with that, and I'm excited to play around with them. The metallics, I'll be 100% honest, some of them, formula-wise, I did find that they could have been a little bit smoother or a little bit more like wet in texture. I think that's kind of the trend that metallics have been going lately, is wet formulas, and this may be just because I'm so used to working at Sephora and playing with all these palettes that that's kind of what I've gotten used to formula-wise. But I do find that the metallics, they can be, they're bright, but they're not the brightest that I've seen. They apply beautifully and they're really easy to use. But they don't have that like wet kind of metallic, which was what I was expecting from the palette just by looking at them. That said, you can get the job done. They're gorgeous. I think they could have been a little bit more pigmented. That's really the only thing, or not even negative, that's the only really not 100% in love feedback that I have for this palette. Everything else I'm obsessed with. The glitter formula is incredible. It's the best one that I've honestly ever used of any palette. I don't ever want to come for other brands, but there have been quite a few lately coming out with this type of formula that just, it doesn't work. There's too much gel, too much glitter, it doesn't transfer well, it doesn't wear, it's a nightmare to work with. And you guys can see there's not even glitter on like the black part of the palette, and I've been swatching these all day and all morning playing with them, and it stayed clean. So you have a lot of control with this formula in particular. Mattes are gorgeous, sequin's amazing. The metallic, I think, and metallics are such a personal thing. Some people don't like the wetter formulas because they really truly don't work with brushes at all. They're terrible with brushes. And I like using my fingers. So that said, Tati, I know she prefers fingers, but she may have been given a formula that, well, yes, it might have been more reflective than one of these that she did end up choosing. It might not have been as user-friendly, and I know that is the purpose, especially with this being like the neutrals palette. You want it to be accessible to everybody, so that could have also been the thought process behind that, because I know from watching her that she's used some of those more wet formulas, like from Tarte. Even ColourPop has that more wet texture that does give off a little more reflexivity. Reflection, that's not even a word. It does give off a little more like luminosity, however, they have a little bit more of a user learning curve and you don't really want to use them with brushes. So that may have been why. So guys, that about wraps up this swatch part of this video and just talking about the palette itself. I think the colors are gorgeous. The color scheme is incredible. Really beautiful and innovative formulas. The metallic, again, is the only one that I think could maybe have been a little bit different, but that is a personal preference thing. I am going to play with the palette quite a bit more and come up with some tutorials and looks for you guys. And then my opinion may change, who knows. I've only played with this a little bit today, so I need to definitely learn more about it, figure it out a little bit more, but just so you guys can quickly see a little demo, I'm going to very quickly do a quick smoky eye. I haven't played around with the formulas enough where I feel comfortable doing a full-on tutorial and then giving my final thoughts and review on it, but I am going to do just a really fast quick application just so we can see what these apply like. Just so we can see how these apply, especially if someone's kind of new to makeup and maybe bought the palette because they love Tati but aren't necessarily the best at makeup. This will be a good representation of how the palette would apply right out of the box. So I am going to take Aura, which is the lightest shade. Tati did say to use this as a base. Oh my gosh. This is like a full coverage powder, guys. Look at that. That's impressive. I mean, that blocks out my lid almost as much as the Anastasia primer. That's amazing. I'm then going to go in with Soothe, which is the transition shade, the brown. Go right up into the upper part of the crease. Keeping it really high. Cool. Gonna deepen that up. Kind of pull that color out. And I'm gonna take Story, which is the warmer kind of orange tone. Pop that right in that inner corner. I'm gonna do like a halo eye. Take a little bit of Ritual. You guys, these are blending so easily. This look is taking me like 2 seconds. Take a little bit of Poet. That really pretty cranberry tone. And then I'm going to take Memory, which is the dark black. Just put that right on the outer corner and right on the inner tear duct. just like that. And then go in with my brush to soften that edge. I'm then going to take a little bit of Soothe on my finger. It's that metallic gold. Press it right into the center of the eye. Oh, this is incredible, actually. Wow. That's absolutely beautiful. I'm taking then Aura, putting that right on the very center, focusing it mostly at the lash line, tapping that out. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Soothe in the glitter on my finger and just place that right at the center of the eye. Oh my gosh. Guys, that came out beautifully. That's stunning. And then just so we can see what it looks like, I kind of want to see what Aura looks like by itself. Do you guys see this? That's incredible. Oh my god. Alright guys, well that concludes this video. I'm going to play around with this and keep having fun, but I just wanted to do a quick demo showing how the shadows apply with brushes, fingers. You saw the swatches. It's amazing. Tati, congratulations. So well done. This is absolutely amazing This is amazing, and it really very much so embodies you in a palette. We can all see it, and I'm so excited to have one. So thank you, thank you, thank you for sending it. I can't wait to see what you come out with next. And again, I know you always want our complete 100% honesty, so I really, the thing I have with the metallic shadows, now that I play with them a little more, I kind of take it back. I don't think they need to be as wet and blinding because this went on beautifully. So with that said, I think the metallic formula is maybe the only one that I maybe would have tweaked a little bit. I think I love everything else. But yeah. Can't say anything bad about the blendability. They work beautifully. The color story is awesome. I am going to have to play around with it before I do a full tutorial and a full review because I don't know how they wear throughout the day yet. But yeah, so that's about it guys. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait until you see me in my next one. We're going to do a tutorial with this. And that's about it. Thank you Tati again, and I will see you all in my next one. Until then, bye ya.